Welcome to the beautiful city of Athens, the gateway to the Tennessee Valley, a city rooted in deep community relationships and built on a rich tradition of small local business and the very best of the human spirit. As Athens embraces the future, the signs of progress are in full bloom. Join us as we discover the bright spots in this charming southern city that we call home. This is Hometown Heartbeat, Athens. What's going on, everybody? It is Hometown Heartbeat Day 4697, or at least it feels that way. Today, we are fortunate to have my friend, pastor, and mentor, and homie, Gabe Ross, with us today. He is the director of the Circle Ranch. But before we dive into that, we're going to say hello to Connor. Connor, we got Connor set up with a sweet camera over there for the producer. Yep. Connor, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Good to be here, as always.
And as always, he's a man of few words.
There you go.
So we put this out earlier. We've actually planned this one probably better than we have a lot of our live streams, and so I'm excited to bring this to you guys. I was telling Connor earlier about our first live streaming adventure.
Yes.
When we had like both of your basketball teams worth of kids.
That's right.
And your wife.
Yep.
And we did a live stream with like 14 people.
That's right. It was fun.
It was.
It's crazy.
That's one word I would use.
That's my life. Every
yeah.
day.
Whoa. Not muted. Now we're muted. Okay. Yeah. No, that is your life every day.
Every day.
Lots of days.
Yeah.
Lots of kids. How many kids you got?
We have 9 right now. That's right now because we have foster kids. So sometimes they come and go. Sometimes quickly. Sometimes it takes a little while. But we have 9 currently. So we're at 11 total people in our house.
That's a lot of people.
Not counting animals.
How many animals you got? Let's dive into that while we're at it.
Oh, we have a cat. The only reason we have a cat is because we had a snake in the house one time. So and rats. So
life at the Circle Ranch is wildlifey. So for those of you that don't know, the Circle Ranch is something that I was introduced to through Gabe, and it was one of those things where instantaneously we just felt like we were going to get involved, and we were able to do so early on. And in the process, you guys are renovating some houses. So let me back up and just kind of give you my perspective on the Circle. So the Circle Ranch is used to be the boys' home, and I'll let the boys' ranch. I'll let Gabe kind of dive into that and tell you the real history behind it because I'll butcher it. But essentially, it's a place where, from my perspective, from the outside, it was a place where I saw sibling groups of foster children they were not assigned or given to the same home. They didn't have the same, but yet because of this place, they were able to live life together as a sibling group, even though they didn't sleep under the same roof. It's a gospel-centered place for healing for young people. It's a place where families can, where the unadoptable can become family members with people that love them, and it's just this really incredible ministry. And so that's the outsider's perspective, but I would love for you to kind of talk us through what it like. The story behind it's awful interesting. So I mean, can you kind of share with us kind of how it came to be, what it used to be, all of that?
Yeah. So if you're from the area, you know it better than I do. I'm only in this area for the last 15 years or so. But the sheriff's department in Morgan County had developed the boys' ranch out on the property. It's about 40 acres. And they did so to help kids who are at risk, especially boys, who are at risk of going to prison or ending up in a lifestyle that was not healthy or successful. So they had house parents at each one of the houses. And there are 5 houses on property. And so they had enough space for, I think, about 8 boys to live there and have the house parents to give them some structure, stability. They went to a school nearby. They had animals and livestock, garden on the property as well. So the boys had chores. So it helped them kind of restructure a life that would give them something to follow as a pattern for success in the future. And then it kind of went to the side and it lay dormant for about 10 years. And a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, some friends of ours decided to kind of oversee the property with the property owners and begin to revitalize and renovate the buildings so that kids in our community could be cared for again. And so instead of house parents who would come in and care for children, you have foster parents who are licensed by our county in Morgan County and by the state of Alabama who live there permanently and bring in more children into their home. So our case was we were in a 4-bedroom home and we had 7 children, which is enough in and of itself in 2,100 square feet. We had 9 people in 2 bathrooms. So when we had the opportunity to move to the ranch, it took us from 4 bedrooms to 8 bedrooms, from 2 bathrooms to 5.5 bathrooms, that now we could bring in more children. So we have had as many as 10 children in our home at one time. We couldn't have done that living in our old neighborhood. So
No,
these
and not
homes,
for a lack of wanting to, just
No,
for a lack of.
that's right.
From a lack of ability.
That's right. And the county needs more foster families. And so this allows the current foster families who move to the ranch to be able to bring in more children into their home. And so that's basically the overview of the plan.
Rhonda Host says, hey from Texas. Love you,
Hey.
Ross family.
Yes.
Hello, Rhonda. How are you? What part of Texas, Rhonda? My family's in Texas as well. But no, so when Keith and I came out there, at the time you had a specific family that was trying to get moved in. We had a little rehab budget we needed to raise up. We were able to God bless us with that those funds. We were able to go do that and get that family. Now they're moved in.
Yep.
But these houses are set up in such a way that like it's not what you would expect probably if you're thinking about your traditional like home that you and I would just go and build or buy. They were specifically purpose built for this. And it allows you the opportunity to the house parents or the foster parents have that. They have a place. They have like kind of a room that's kind of secluded a little bit. I mean, I don't know how secluded you can be with 10 kids running around, but a room with like an office and kind of your own place to recharge and rest and all that. And so it was really important to really dive in and get these places renovated in a way that, I mean, we watched the show. My son has gotten into the Extreme Home Makeover since they brought it back. By the way, not nearly as good as the original was, but I mean, that show ran for 13 years, by the way. Awesome. 13 years. And so every time they bring Ty back, Ty Pennington comes back on everyone. He's had better days, but maybe why the show was canceled. But anyways, he loves that, and it's that concept of like giving the people that give back so much a place where they can continue to give more.
Right.
It's empowering them to give more of themselves while also giving them a place to recharge themselves in a way. Yeah. And so the property itself is absolutely gorgeous. You got a lake out there, a pond rather. How big is that pond? It's pretty big.
That's a good question. I'm not a fisherman, but a lot of people like to fish.
Well, folks, I will go inspect it for you happily and report back. I tried to inspect the deer portion of that as well. That got shot down. But no, it's definitely a cool place. And so where are we at? I mean, because when I was last involved, we had one family we were getting prepared to move in. Right. Companies or groups have taken on different pieces of the property to renovate. So kind of give us a status update on where we're at.
Yes, so there are 5 homes. 4 are the larger version that are the 8-bedroom, 5.5 bath. And they're, as Zach said, they're just kind of custom made for that property. They're not big, large mansion, multi-story. That's one story so that everybody is in the same basic hallway so you can get to and see each other quickly. And so there are 4 of the larger homes, and then there's one that would be a typical size home. And then there's an admin building, a chapel, and a gym. And so we have 3 of the homes that are occupied. Last year in 2019, we had 23 foster children call the ranch home. So 3 out of the 5 were functioning, not even full for the whole year, but we had 23 kids there who had a roof over their head, a family that would say, we love you and care for you. And so we started this last year renovating the 4th home. We had plans to have it ready by Easter, but COVID changed all that. So we're hoping, this summer sometime that will be completed. That family's going to be moving in. They have foster children, plan to have more kids in their home once they're able to. And so then once that's completed this summer, that will leave only one home to be renovated. The gym is underway, so we have goals that need to be purchased. We have the floor needs to be painted. Bathrooms need to be renovated as well so we can use functioning restrooms in there as well. And then there are a lot of what I would call quality of life type things. So we have a playground on property that is a good functioning playground in the sense that it provides the things that kids need. However, it's older, it's seen its better days like Ty, and so it needs to be replaced basically. So that's a need that we have. Then there are fences that need to be put around each of the backyards because the local DHR requires safety for kids, especially with a pond being around. So each family will need a fenced in area for kids to be able to run out and play. So there are a lot of quality of life things that go with the family needs as well as the capital needs of renovating the homes as well.
And so we have a video actually that we're going to play that'll just kind of show you guys the ranch for those of you that haven't seen it, and then we'll come back and we're going to talk about those needs and how you guys can partner with Gabe and the ranch, and how we're going to partner. Hometown Heartbeat's going to partner with the ranch to kind of help you, the community, get involved with things like this. Everybody always talks about want to get involved. They're going to have their opportunity today. So let's watch this video.
Hey, my name is Gabe Ross, director here at the Circle Ranch, and we're excited to tell you a little bit about our story and why we exist as an organization. The mission of the ranch, and really the reason that we exist as an organization, is to be an asset to our community, to provide care for children in the welfare system, to provide a place for foster families and foster children to grow up, to have a safe environment and a place to grow to be successful. On the property, we have 5 homes. 4 of those are larger houses that have 8 bedrooms and 5.5 baths, and one's that's a more typical size house. This allows us to bring in foster families who can continue to care for children, to have up to 1, 2, 3, even 6 foster children in those homes. So over the next year to 2 years, our plan is to renovate all of these houses. We have 2 already fully renovated, 2 in process, and another one will come online hopefully in year 2. And this allows us again to bring in foster families who can grow up in a space and a place surrounded by 38 acres of property to run out into nature and enjoy the outdoors. We have a pavilion with a pond where they can go fishing and just enjoy the outdoors that way as well. There's also a chapel on site and a gym we're currently renovating to allow the kids to grow up learning how to play ball, baseball, basketball, volleyball, football, anything you can imagine in a gym for kids to enjoy, to play, and just to have a great time out at the ranch. One of the great things about the ranch is that it's a community organization in the sense that we invite all of North Alabama, Morgan County to be a part of what we're doing here at the ranch. And maybe you say you're not called specifically to foster or bring children into your home, but there are ways that you can partner with caring for kids in your own community as well. One of the things you can do if you're an individual or family, business, or an organization, you can offer a one-time donation that helps us continue to renovate the homes so that we can bring more families in who will care for those children in our specific area. And if you also want to partner with us monthly, we'd love for you to do that as well. Any donation of any size is beneficial and helpful, and all donations are tax deductible, so we would love for you to partner with us in that way. And maybe you say you don't have those specific resources, but you would like to put your time and energy into this place. We invite you to offer your services, volunteer, whether that's mowing the lawn or picking up sticks or picking up a paintbrush. We would love for you to be a part of caring for kids in that way in our community. If you'd like to get in touch with us here at the ranch, you can visit our Facebook page at The Circle Ranch or check us out on our website, thecircleranch.org. Fill out the contact form and we'd love to get in touch with you soon.
So that has a video of the actual facilities and some of the needs. The video's a little older. We gotta freshen up some of the video, but the website and the email and all that stuff is live as of like 45 minutes ago. And so we've got all that set up. And so now we want to talk about some of the needs that we've got. And so Connor, if you could throw the graphic up that I sent you earlier today with the capital needs. So here's some of the things that and if you could go picture in picture if you want, Connor, so they can still see us. But some of the things that are necessary are playground equipment, individual fences, like we talked about, I mean, there's just a laundry list of stuff here, and we'll put this stuff in notes so that you can see it. But that's good, Connor. We'll put it in the notes afterwards. But just so you know, I mean, there's $85,000 worth of improvements or needs, and so, you know, some of you guys that might look at this and say, well, why do they need 4 golf carts? How many kids did you say you had out there again?
There were 23 foster kids last
23
year.
foster kids.
Just foster kids.
And so there's at least 2 parents for each family. There's biological, or what's the appropriate term for that? Because they're all your kids.
Yeah, they're all our kids, and
Right.
that's a misconception people have. So how many have you of your own?
Yeah,
But
no,
they're
they all
our
are
own.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no,
it's typically the best language to use would be biological, fostered, and adopted. that's generic enough that it doesn't hurt feelings,
Sure.
and it shows a little bit of understanding.
Well, and it's also accurate.
That's
I mean,
true.
they're all yours.
That's
they're
right.
just different. I mean, you
Came
can buy
from-
a new car, a used car, or I mean, they're all cars. They're all. That's right.
Came to us just in different ways.
That's exactly right. And so no, that's and so again, a lot of those needs, like if you've not been there, which I would encourage you, if you have a small group, an MC, a missional community, a D group, a Sunday school class, whatever your church decided to call it, get in touch with the guys out at the ranch, because there are a ton of things that are fun to do that you will. I mean, that's how we came. I mean, Gabe has become one of my closest friends through my introduction to the ranch, because someone knew that I would have an interest in what they were doing out there. My wife and I would certainly interested in, and through that, a friendship has come. And so, like, it's not just, yes, there are a lot of needs that they have, but it's also a great place to serve and fellowship. Like, you can take your group out there and have a nice Saturday serving, let the kids fish in the pond, play. I mean, it's not like it's a labor camp.
Right.
Like it's a place where you can go and serve, but also enjoy your time, get to know great people. And so what are some direct ways? Like, I mean, and we've got plenty of time, but what are some ways that right now aren't, I mean, outside of capital, everybody, look, if pull your checkbook out, like that's bottom line is that's always a need.
Right.
Has there ever been a time since you've been at the ranch where you're like, you know what, keep the check, guys, we're good?
No.
Like it's a ministry. It consumes money nonstop.
Yeah.
But what are some physical ways for those that say, man, I don't know that I can write a check,
Right.
but I would love to get involved. Like, what are some things right now? I saw Garden Day. You guys said you had a big garden thing that was monstrous.
Yeah, so a local attorney, Barney Lovelace, in Decatur,
Barney
has brought out his tractor, dug up the ground, wants to really teach the kids, like they did at the Boys Ranch, teach the kids how to produce food and care for it and tend it. And so that's a great project that he's involved in, but also allowing the kids at the ranch to be involved as well. And we do the upkeep, but he did a lot of the heavy lifting and got it prepared and got it ready. So when he came out, it wasn't just him working. Saturday we had the work day for the garden day, but then we cooked out hamburgers. He and his wife provided that, which was a huge blessing, but had a good time doing that as well. So if people want to, we always have leaves, and I hate to say rake leaves, but we have more leaves than we have kids. They're everywhere all the time, picking up sticks, and that sounds trivial, but when we have to mow 40 acres of property, you have to get off the mower to pick up sticks and then get back on the mower. It just takes time. Or if you want to come mow, that's a great thing. Or if you have a bush hog, there's a lot of property that we can't get to with our mowers.
Yeah, I mean, there is a tremendous amount of upkeep. I mean, it is a work. It's a lot of ground.
Yes, a lot. And then if you are a good painter, I hate to qualify that. You know how it is. Sometimes when you help, you don't help. If you're decent at painting, there's always a need for
churches and ministries ought to do a better job at qualifying a lot of times. Specifically, if you're a good musician. I'm kidding. Everybody out there going to get mad. Don't send me the angry email. It's a joke. No, but so that there's a ton of physical work that could be done. And more than anything, like, just go.
Yeah.
Like, visit, fellowship, play. You have, one more time, I'm going to ask him, how many kids?
We have 9 right now.
So anytime that, like, if I called Gabe and said, hey, my wife and I want to bring our son and dog and just run around with your kids for a few hours, like, would probably try to pay me for it, kind of a thing. Because any kind of a respite or just a time for you and Melissa to just sit on the couch. I mean, you're not obviously not going to be able to go on a date and leave me with all your kids, but you could certainly rest and just enjoy the fellowship and the ability to just have somebody else out there. Those kids love that too. I mean, when we were there, it was like, like they want to play. They want to. I mean, what was your son that was? Oh, he was
John.
John's my favorite.
He's made for the ranch.
I'm talking about the kid is. I mean, God designed him for that place.
Yes.
And he loves everything about it, and every piece of dirt on it, and all the mud puddles, and all the and has more questions than I've got answers, which is fantastic.
That's right.
But no, and so the ranch is just a place, guys, that I have fallen in love with, and my wife and I love. She's not yet been there. She's mad that she has not been invited yet. That's what I keep telling her. Don't tell her it's
my
not true.
fault.
Yeah, no, I just blame it on Gabe. So, but no, it's a place that needs our help right now. And guys, it's right here. Like, this is what Hometown Heartbeat is intended to be. And so I know that over the past 40 days or 36 days, like this has evolved and changed. And as coronavirus is making its way, hopefully, out of our society for at least, I don't know, but hopefully as it's kind of easing its way out, like this is where we want to get back to. And so what my hope is in doing the show is exactly this. It's to be able to find organizations. Gabe and I are going to come together once a month and have this. We're gonna get on here and we're gonna bring to you updates. We're gonna bring to you content and video packages and images, and we want you to see, partner, and be a part of all of the ministry that's happening there. And if you're not a believer, if you're not like, if you just are interested in helping, like, it doesn't matter, reach out. Like we want to walk with you through service to mankind. And for us, it's through service to our Lord and Savior, but we'd love to introduce you to him too. And so at the end of the day, like, you can get involved. It doesn't take a checkbook. It doesn't take much more than just the willingness to just say yes and just go. And so as the weather gets better, look, you should have more volunteers than you know what to do with this year, because everybody's cooped up.
That's right.
And when they break loose, we ought to have like a quarantine party out at the ranch, like a quarantine break work day kind of a thing. I bet we could get tremendous amounts of people out there because it's a beautiful place to get outside.
Right. And we have families and church groups that will bring the families once a month. They'll bring dinner, whether that's pizza or they'll cook a meal, or they'll just bring it once a month. And we know for us, there's a church every first Thursday, they're bringing us dinner. And that seems so small, but that's a huge help when you've got, in normal life, kids running everywhere, going to the doctor, ball games, and things of that nature. Just having that is a big blessing. So it doesn't take a lot.
Every time I call Gabe in the evening, it's amazing. I oftentimes expect for him not to be able to answer, every time he answers the phone, and it's probably once a night if I'm being honest with you. And he's probably like, oh, he's calling me again. But I promise you, like, it gives, like, I live in chaos. My world, my entire everything about what I do is chaotic, and I thrive in it. When I talk to Gabe on the phone, I get hives. Like, it's just like, and he's just as calm as can be. Oh, just doing the dishes. He's just doing the dishes, and so just anything you can do to be a part of it, like you said, bring dinner, get out there. We need to. I have an idea, and so I'm gonna pitch my idea live on the air here. We need to set up a wiffle ball tournament.
Yep.
And we need to bring, and I'll handle the wiffle ball side. I played in a tournament in Orlando, and we played. There was. Man, Joe Madden was there. I mean, there were probably 12, 15. Dante Bichette, Bo Bichette, the whole Bichette family. Wow. That was a wiffle ball team. It was like the Bichettes and 3 minor league shortstops versus everybody else. I played on a team with Sam Fuld, which is Slam and Sam. He was a center fielder for New York Yankees for a long time. But they did this whole thing. It was for diabetes, and so they raised a bunch of money, and they did. Cool. But it was really cool. They had umpires, they had fields, they had radar guns. Right, you couldn't throw the wiffle ball too hard because it would be an unfair advantage for one side. But with all the green space we've got out there, I think we need to do something like that, and like get a big wiffle ball tournament or something going where we can raise money, get the kids involved. I mean, because when we played out there, literally you have a major league player pitching and then like a 7-year-old batting, and it was just really neat because it was all about the kids, and yet it was super competitive and fun all at the same time. But I mean, options like that, guys. If you have something, if you need service hours, if you need whatever, like, reach out.
If you're an Eagle Scout, we have several Eagle Scouts doing their project. Or if you want to be an Eagle Scout. That's right. They're doing their project out at the ranch. One has completely renovated one of the sheds behind the family's house. Did a great job. Another is creating a medical facility within the gym in one of the rooms. Yeah, painting, bringing in a bed, supplies.
How old are these kids?
They're 17, 18. Yeah, it's awesome. They do it with their family typically, but they take the lead on it. And so anything like that would be great.
It makes me feel insufficient as a human being.
The wiffle ball sounds good. We actually have the idea of doing a dodgeball tournament for fundraising.
In the gym?
So gym, outside, getting the orange snow fence.
Can I be like the honorary athletic chairman or something, like the athletic director of the ranch? I feel like that's a role I would embrace. The competitive committee chairman. Look, guys. At the end of the day, like the Circle Ranch is a very special place. It's a special place to the state of Alabama. Its history, what it was, and I think it's so incredible that the Lord has provided a way for that place to become a huge part of the future of Alabama. And I can't wait to be a part of, and I know you've not been fostering long enough probably to have the kids coming back and being and seeing the impact that it's had, but I can only imagine from the seeds that are being sown by your faithfulness and obedience and Melissa's faithfulness and obedience, because undertaking what you've undertaken is something that probably came at great expense, at great personal sacrifice, at great financial sacrifice, and you fill in the blank sacrifice. And so I just want to encourage you and thank you for your obedience and your willingness to just be a vessel and a servant, because I believe that generations of kids in Alabama will be impacted. I think kids that are 2 and 3 down the line will be impacted by a father who was led to Christ through your faithfulness at the Circle, or someone else's at the Circle Ranch. And that's just an incredible, like, that's such a powerful testimony to be a part of. And so what you now have is the opportunity to partner alongside the Circle Ranch and be a part of that story and be obedient and faithful in that. So if you feel like this is something God's calling you to, or even something that he's not, but just something you want to do, like he will, I promise, if you'll let him. And so at the end of the day, this is probably one of the first times we've started on time and an ending on time, and that's rare for us. But I had to put on my best, I had to put on my best for Gabe and the old Circle Ranch here. So, how do they reach you? What's the best way? Obviously, we've got the email and the Facebook and all that. Is that?
Yeah, the info at thecircleranch.org, the Facebook page at the Circle Ranch. And then the website that you helped create for us as well. And the video, it'll go back at the end of that. If you want to watch that, it'll have all the details of the places you can go to find us as well.
And the video is on the homepage. So when you go to the website, there's on the screen there is the email, and then obviously the website would just be the back half of that. So check them out, see what it's all about, guys. We love you guys, and Gabe, as always, I appreciate and enjoy our time together.
Thanks.
For the rest of you, tomorrow's Friday. We will have our first Hometown Hero segment. We will be partnering with the Matthew Pacino Foundation out of Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be wicked awesome.
Awesome.
That's the second day in a row I've used the same joke. I should probably come up with something else. Guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you later. Gabe, as always, appreciate it. Take it away, Connor.